Besties, have you ever tried to make River State native soup and you couldn't? Well, without paying me a dime, let me show you how to make it in 2, 3, 1, and action! Okay, let's start with the ingredients. You see this hagfish? It is very, very good for native soup. The Yorubas call it a jakika. For fresh fish, you can use any fish of your choice. You can use catfish, croaker fish, but for today's video, we are going to be using croaker fish. We are also going to be using crab, and then we are going to be using sea snails, which is called ngolo. Prawns, we are using shrimps as well. Shrimp is very important for native soup. Of course, we are using snail. We are basically using all the seafood you can think of. So you're going to start by adding your palm oil to a heated pot. Then go in immediately with your onions and then stir that very well until the onions releases its flavor into the oil. And then add a little water to it to stop the oil from frying. This is the best method to use when making River State fisherman soup. You just want to fry the oil a little. Now you're going to go in with your fresh pepper. At this point, you are going to start creating the base for the soup. After you add your pepper, you are going to give that a good stir to make sure that everything is well mixed together with the onions and oil. And now you are going to add your seasoning cubes. If you want to use salt, you can also add salt to it, but I don't like to combine both salt and seasoning cubes in my soup. I just like to use only seasoning cubes. Now, after, you are going to start by adding your fresh croaker fish into that base that you have created, as you can see in this video. Then add the other seafood to the base as well. Your snails, your prawns. If you want to add your crab at this point, you can go ahead. But it is best for you to follow this method so that your native soup can taste really, really nice. Now, the reason why we are steaming our seafood in the base that we have just created, in the, let's call it a little stew base, right, is so that the ingredients can soak into the seafoods very well, so that the seafoods can be tasty. You know, croaker fish usually does not have any taste. Of course, snails does not have taste. Well, prawns as well. So it is best to steam it with the stew base for a few minutes before adding water to it. Now you're going to give that a good stir. You can turn the fish upside down so that the ingredients can also enter the other side of the fish. And then go ahead and add your water, the quantity of water that you're going to use for the soup. Go ahead and add it now. Don't add too much water at first, so you can add little water and then come back to add another little water again. If you add too much water, the ingredients are not really going to catch the seafood very well. So just a little water, stir it very well, cover the pot and allow it to cook until the fish is done. So after about 5 minutes, the croaker fish is done. You know, croaker fish does not have life, so you cannot overcook croaker fish. Otherwise, you're not going to see it in the soup. So you're going to gently take the fish out of the soup and allow the rest of the seafood to continue cooking. The prawns at this point is done. Even the snails are done, but you don't have to remove them. So after taking the fish out of the soup, you're going to go ahead now and add water, the water that you're going to use to cook the soup until it is done. Let me just say this, when making native soup, make sure to use more of the dried hagfish than the fresh fish. So now you're going to go ahead and add your crayfish. You're going to go in now with your crab. You cannot make native soup without adding crabs. Crabs are very, very important for River's native soup. You guys, River's native soup is also known as fisherman soup, but there is a slight difference with this fisherman soup and the fisherman soup that I make for my customers. This is the proper River State native soup. Now you're going to go in with your sea snails, otherwise known as ngolo. You can add any other seafood you want as long as it is seafood. Anything you want to add inside your soup, go ahead. Even if it's pragmantis, you can go ahead and add it. I'm just joking, you guys. See, when you're making the proper River State native soup, make sure to be generous with your seafood. Use a lot of seafood. Anything called seafood, use it. Native soup is enjoyable to eat when you use a lot of seafood. When you add a lot of seafood to your native soup, it is always enjoyable. At this point, you're going to go in with your hagfish. You guys, the hagfish is the secret ingredient of this native soup. I am not even joking. If you skip the hagfish, your native soup is not really going to give like that. So make sure to use the hagfish. And now you are going to go in with your shrimps. You know, shrimps has this sweet taste, right? So when you add shrimps to your native soup, it just gives the taste everything that it needs. You guys, if you have never tasted River State native soup before, I mean the real native soup, then go ahead and make this soup for yourself and then come back here and tell me thank you for hooking you up. So it is time to add ofo to the soup. Ofo is the thickener that we are going to use for the native soup. You can use ede, which is cocoyam. You can even use blended Quaker oats for it. Anything that serves as a thickener is fine. But for today, we are going to be using ofo because I like the taste of ofo better for native soup. Normally, when I'm making my fisherman soup, the one I make for my customers, I always like to use cocoyam, which is ede. But because this is the River's native soup, so I prefer to use ofo for it. Besties, if you have watched this video up to this point, it means that you love me. It means that you love what I do. And without a doubt, I love you too. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're a new subscriber, you are welcome. If you're a subscriber already, thank you for sticking around. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification button so that when I post a video, you will be notified. And please do not also forget to like my video, share my video, comment on my videos, just engage on my post so that YouTube can push out my videos. You guys, I really want to be here with you for the longest time. So I need all of your support. I need all of your encouragement. And as you do so, may God bless you. At this point, we are going in with our unshelled periwinkles. You know, when you're making River State fisherman soup, you want to use plenty unshelled periwinkles. River State people do not joke with unshelled periwinkles. So when they're making their native soup like this, they use plenty unshelled periwinkles. It is their signature. So when you want to make this native soup, make sure to use plenty unshelled periwinkles. Unfortunately, I did not have enough, so I just had to use what I had. The most important thing is that you guys are getting the lessons that you need, right? Is that okay? So now the soup is almost ready. After adding ofo to the soup, if you notice that your soup is a little bit thick, you can go ahead and add a little water to loosen it up. The consistency of the soup is not supposed to be thick. It is supposed to be a little bit loose, but not watery before you can add all the water in the world to your soup. So it is time to add fresh ozuza leaves to seal up the taste of the soup. After adding the ozuza leaves, you are going to give it a good stir to make sure that everything is well combined. So whilst I was stirring it, I realized that the soup was a little bit thick and lacking moisture. So what did I do? I went in with a little water. I think I did that off camera. So at this point, our yummy native soup is ready. So what swallow are you going to be enjoying with this delicious fisherman soup? Let me guess. Eba? Is it semo? Is it oatmeal? Is it amala? Of course, no. If you need a suggestion, go with onunu. Pair it with onunu. You are going to enjoy it so much. Thank you guys for watching my video. Do not forget to like, comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe on your way out. See you.